Maybe he's not been putting it on each time he levels up.
Could be. Okay. So you are the shield here now. So you're continuing moving north?
Yeah.
Okay. So the path comes out of the forest and veers towards a small bridge crossing the river. So you continue along the path for about a couple of hours until you come to what looks like a small hamlet. The buildings are very curious, though. They seem to be almost have grown out of the earth, made out of willows that are living trees interwoven together and thatched with a roof. They are grand in design, 2 stories, and it's almost as if the willows have been trained to give beautiful details. So there are window ledges, frames with little intricate swirling patterns above the windows, and each is adorned with a painted green door.
Nice.
Shall we investigate? Or shall we keep going?
Yes, investigate it.
Okay. Make an investigation check then.
Who's got the best one? Can we help them?
Yeah, it could be done with help.
Whoever's got highest.
I've got 2.
I've got 0.
I've got 1. Tavron's got 3.
Let's help Tavron.
So I'll do it with advantage.
Yep.
You don't notice much beyond the intricate buildings themselves.
I suppose you've got to take a closer look.
So what are you doing?
Can I do a nature check? Have I seen anything like this before? Is it?
Yeah, make a history check.
16.
You know that they're similar, but much more extravagant than the buildings grown/built by the Wood Elves in the north of the continent, or at least the continent north of Noada in the prime material plane where you had left previously.
There might be some sort of wood elf around here. Shall we knock on a door?
Yeah, why not?
Who's the most charismatic?
What, in terms
Possibly
of
me.
persuasion? Well,
I've got 18
1.
charisma.
But then that would be it, yeah.
Perfect.
I have the same. So yeah, you do. You do.
I'll knock.
I'll smile.
I'll wave.
The door opens, and in front of you is a most unusual elf. It is a male elf. He has golden skin with hair of red and orange and green all tangled together. Beautiful, silky long hair. His eyes are bright green, and he wears a green cloak adorned with gold, emblems of the sun. He seems to give off a radiance. He almost exudes light, and he has a warm and quizzical smile upon his face.
Oh, hello, gorgeous.
Well, Primes knocking on my door. I never. What brings you to the Feywilds?
A little dragon brought us here. I forget why.
We're looking for hot dates. No.
And look at this one, all grey. One of the fair folk. How
Don't be
interesting.
racist.
My name is Athenon. How may I be of service?
Ethanol.
I can do with a drink ethanol.
Can you tell us about your world?
You have travelled all this way and you know nothing about the Feywilds.
No.
Don't rub it in.
Have you seen any of my kind before?
We've seen a couple of red caps.
Nasty little cretins.
Yeah, here's one of its heads.
As you pull out the head, the complexion. So at first there's the look of shock upon the elf's face, but then its whole complexion begins to change. Its hair seems to dull and come, rather than being these vivid shades of green and orange and red, it becomes muted and like it's desaturated. It becomes browns and much less bright oranges, and its skin again fades to sort of more earthy tone, and even its clothes begin to shift. The clothes become a change from green to an earthy orange colour.
What's happening?
Horrifying. Why do you bring this poor creature's head to my door? You Primes, I don't understand you.
You just called it horrible and horrendous.
I called it a nasty cretin, but it doesn't give you the right to kill anything you like, you disgusting Primes.
With that, I hope. No, it's okay. I'll hold back.
Now let's all calm. Oh shit. Let's all calm down. Oh, correct. Just got a bit excited.
Maybe I should stop carrying heads.
Maybe you should stop showing them to anyone who.
They're a formidable weapon. I need to use them. They show people's true colours.
I think not. I'll bid you good day. And he just turns around and slams the door shut.
That went well.
Can I sneak the head inside his door in that time?
No, the door's already slammed shut.
Okay. I leave the head on his doorstep and move away. I'll cut sorry into its forehead.
What shall we do now?
As you're standing there, another of the doors opens, and a female of this elven variety sticks its head out. This one too is, as the first one appeared, golden skinned with bright, vivid coloured hair, almost like cherry blossoms on spring leaves.
I hide the head.
I thought I smelled primes. What brings you to our fair lands? What brings you to the Sealy Court?
I'm just showing heads.
Mysterious purple dragon with a Scottish accent bordering on Romanian.
I don't know where this Scotland is, but I think you're talking about Penn,
Yes, that's the one.
Quintessentially's consort.
What can you tell us about?
You could die.
Penn is the noble servant of our queen. But what brings you to these lands? Where are you travelling to, Primes?
Don't know.
We're going north to find
the
our
circle.
destiny. To where?
Be careful of the druids who live there. They can be tricky. They will be delighted to see you.
What?
Why is that?
Well, it's not every day that Prime step onto the Feywild.
Have you got the radio on?
Just randomly, phone just randomly starts playing things. It's so weird.
Is there any terrible things happening in the Feywild, or is it all hunky-dory apart from those crazy things in the Red Cap camp? That
Oh, I
like
need
to
everyone to
eat
make
me?
a Oh, hold on. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. Correct, got 20. Tavron. 9.
3.
Oh.
Okay, so Taveron, Gigantor, and who are we missing?
One
That's
second.
everyone, isn't it?
No.
Oh, we're missing Creamy.
A wisdom saving throw.
Mhm. Okay, so
Yeah.
just so all of you felt it slightly on the first of these creatures that you encountered, but it was kind of disrupted by the sudden appearance of the head at this thing's doorstep. But this time you feel it again, and more strongly this time. There's something unsettling about this creature. Its glorious, shining body and just sheer presence and vitality is making you nervous. In fact, so most of you managed to shake off this feeling, but Taveron and Gigantor, you are afraid of this being.
Okay.
I'm so scared.
And in fact, you all noticed that that beyond this beautiful complexion and these seemingly enticing eyes and visage, there's a hardness there and a ferocity that is quite unsettling.
So is it the Atkins diet you're on? You do look very good.
Oh, well, thank you, Prime. So, I wish you luck on your journey to the Circle.
How
Will
old
you
are
be going...
Sorry.
Interesting question. I am around 12,000 years old.
You don't look a day over 21.
By your prime material years.
Pretty old.
Well,
You're a gilf.
So would
Got
you
it.
like would you like some pointers towards the Circle?
Yes, please.
Carry on along this path, cross the river. Oh, you have crossed the river, haven't you? I didn't move the thing. Carry on along this path until you reach a junction. To the south is the Sealy Court and the castle of our queen. But you should travel north through the thinning forest. Within an hour you should reach the Circle. As you approach, I would present offerings to the druids there, lest you entice their wrath.
Would they accept a head?
What kind of offerings?
Anything beautiful.
Oh!
Fancy going with us?
Make a persuasion check.
Wade, you are. Oh, you're on fire.
Oh. I thought you'd just instantly say no. Persuasion. Not great.
I don't think so. I have my own important business to attend to, I'm afraid.
You've still got a to-do list at 12,000 years old.
I am contemplating the nature of things. It is a task that takes a good deal of patience. I don't have time for prime material matters, I'm afraid. But it was an interesting change to see you. Good day. She gives you a sort of quizzical smile, not really know. She doesn't really know what to make of you. Turns around and closes the door. You get the sense that for her, it was like seeing some sort of monkeys turn up at a door and start playing with some fruit and then go on their way. It's just a sort of interesting thing that could happen, quite unexpected, but nothing to get mixed up in.
Well, we've been completely outclassed.
Well,
Where are we going then?
Who's the most beautiful among us? Who can we sacrifice?
So you know that
Creamy.
Oni that nearly annihilated you all.
Oh yeah.
Just one of those guys that you just knocked on the door of could have easily defeated it on its own.
Oh.
I'm glad I didn't boot a head at its face.
The CR of 10, which means that it's it should take about 4 people at level 10 to take one of them down.
Oh god.
What are they?
Make a nature check. Actually, make an Arcana check. Sorry, it'll be Arcana. You don't know really, but you know that you know from your readings that once upon a time all the elves lived on the Feywild, and that all the elves that you find on the Primaterial plane are descended from those that left the Feywild, and those that remained are the most elfish of the elves. They're basically Fey creatures. All elves have Fey ancestry, but these are the purest of the elves.
Inbreds.
I think you probably would know their names.
Is
They're
Tavron
called
an
the
elf?
they're called the Eladrin. So Tavron would know that they're called the Eladrin.
Maybe we should do what the Eladrins told us to do. Seem to know where to
Tavron also pipes up. They can change their form, like the seasons. All elves on the prime material plane have fixed forms, but that was not our way eons ago when we lived in the Feywild. The Eladrin still retain their ability to change at will, like this, from spring to summer, to autumn to winter. When you shocked that one, Kurak, you saw the change from summer to autumn, as if the leaves had died.
Great people.
Well, shall we head
Well,
to
I
the...
reckon we don't want to be hanging around here too long.
Have we got much beautiful stuff to give them?
Maybe we'll find something en route.
I've got 2 blood-soaked silver sickles.
We got a
those
lovely
three-
dagger.
We've got those 3 golden coins.
Yes. No, they're mine.
I could sing for them.
That'd be nice. We've got that.
People say I have a beautiful singing voice.
It's certainly something.
So are you heading north then?
Yeah, why not?
So you head on. The forest is thinning somewhat. The as you start to head, you see the sun begin to rise, casting a golden glow over the landscape. And it's as for Wade especially, and for Gigantor, who have lived here quite a long time, and for Creamy, who spent her youth here, this land is familiar. It's almost as if you took the topography of the real world and stretched it so everything was more extreme. And so you look west towards the rising settings, away from the rising sun. I know where the sun rises. You look west away from the rising sun and look at the light cast down on the slopes below you, and what you see is the trees moving from summer leaves, greens, vibrant greens, through to autumn oranges and browns and golds and reds, and then to an area of dead trees, beyond which there is what seems to be jagged spikes of ice and rock, covered in a dusting of snow, and there seems to be some land of snow stretching beyond that. And it's as if the valley between these two places, where you stand now, and that icy place, is shifting with the seasons. So after another half an hour or so, you come to a stone circle.
What's this then? Should we investigate it?
Is this the druid place?
You're descending down to it from a rise, and you can see some figures cloaked in brown cloaks and hoods moving between the stones.
Play a song, Creamy.
Play us in.
The most beautiful song you can think of.
Take that bass for a little walk.
Oh, I've got just the thing. Bree, bree! Bree, bree!
So make a performance check.
Oh no. I think that was
Is
pretty
anyone
good.
helping?
Yeah, we'll do the backing with what?
Bree.
Bree.
Okay, so make it with advantage. Just make another one.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Look at that backing vocals, really lifted it.
yeah.
5 or 6 brown cloaked figures turn and look at you up on the hill, and begin gracefully, almost gliding towards you.
I love that
Stone
performance was
circle.
22.
Hmm?
I love that performance of Bree Bree was 22.
I like the fact that when you started the performance it was lacking and then suddenly we joined in.
Imagine us descending down there. They gotta be impressed.
They must be.
So they begin gliding towards you in a V shape, like a flock of birds, and slowly they make their way up their hill to stand in front of you, still in perfect formation. The one in the lead takes down her hood, revealing another golden-skinned, golden-haired this time, long golden hair, bright green eyes, a sharp chin, and long, very long pointed ears, even longer than Tavron's ears. And she stands even taller than Tavron, who's good 6 foot something. Not as tall as Gigantor, though. Delightful. Tell me, where does this song come from?
It's one of the great songs from the primeval world, or whatever you call it.
A song of the prime material plane.
Yes.
You present it to us. The
It's
druid.
a wonderful folk ballad.
Tell me, what is your name?
Bree. Well, my name is Creamy Barfwater.
Creamy Bath.
No relation.
You have the taint of a foul creature in your blood. Tell me, how does it feel being here with the fair folk?
Well, everyone's very pretty.
And this one has known loss. Its heart is barely stitched together. She glides gracefully over to Wade and places a hand on your shoulder, and then up towards your chin, and holds your chin almost like holding a cat's chin, as if it were about to under your chin. And she sort of grips you there with a very firm grip, and sort of moves your head from side to side as if she's inspecting you.
Can you come back in your chin?
I'm
Winnie
gonna
just
put that
scratched the
like-
shit out of me.
And hold your chin like a cat's chin.
What I meant is like she was about to tickle under your chin like a cat's head.
It's a
And then
horse.
she glides over to she glides over to Kurak.
Sorry.
And this one too,
Yeah.
fierce warrior blood. Dark marks adorning its flesh. Interesting.
Hiya.
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
And she glides over to Gigantor. And this creature of giant's blood. Dark is its heart. Yet there is glimmers of light. Redemption, perhaps. The kindlings of redemption. And lastly, over to Tavron. And one of our own, long since departed, and on a race taken a dark path down deep into the prime. Fearing the sun. What is it like to return, brother? Tavron says.
Glorious.
Yeah. It's nice.
Bit bright.
Better than eating rats.
You are an interesting group. What can I do for you?
There's some witches in the prime material plane that we need to vanquish. Can you help us?
Vanquish. The sisters of our queen.
By vanquish we mean basically stop them from interfering with our world.
They are of the Feywild. They do as they please, like we all.
Okay. Thanks for your help.
But
Well.
that is not our world.
Oh.
You can do as you please there. You're not governed by our rules. But you are in the Feywild now. Tell me, how do you aim to return?
We're going to go through one of the cracks.
We have the power to send you back, should you so wish.
Oh. And what would you need in return?
They didn't say that. They didn't say they wanted anything. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Why are we here? I can't even
You have
remember.
given us a gift of great beauty already. That is payment enough, but I would ask for myself another price,
Selfish.
if you would be willing to give it.
A hand job?
Great work, Korak.
Tell me a secret never spoken before.
I have a Ben-inch cock. Times Ben.
I secretly think Wade is alright.
In a sexual way?
You know, in a sexual way, Wade.
Well, interesting.
Is that enough?
It will suffice.
Do you get off on that?
We live a timeless life. Eons in your time have passed, while we watch the world go by and contemplate the matters of the universe. We live vicariously through creatures like yourselves. It entertains me to know how your minds work.
Oh.
Just basically about having sex all the time.
Follow me. She turns away and glides down the hill, and the rest of her consort follow in suit, again in a perfect V formation, with you trailing behind. She leads you into the stone circle, and these are huge stones forming a stone ring, each of which is adorned with intricate runes. You also notice that it's not just the stones that are in a circle, but even the plants within this grove seem to be orientated within this circle. There's a ring of mushrooms around the inner circle, and even the blades of grass seem to go in patches following the curvature of this stone ring. In the center is a small table, a small stone table, an altar of sorts, with a silver mirror placed delicately upon it. She leads you over to the mirror. A gift, Primes. Use it wisely. She reaches out with the mirror to whoever's in the front. I think she'd probably hand it to Taveron. A powerful item. A Fey mirror. If you look through the mirror, together or alone, you'll pass from the Feywild into the prime material plane, and vice versa if you do it from the other side. There is only enough magic left in this mirror for 3 such crossings, including the one you are about to make. Another feature of this magical device is that if you gaze into the mirror, you can see into the other side, into the Feywild. And if you look at it from the Feywild side, you see into the prime material plane.
That's very handy.
Tavron picks it up and looks in, and the rest of you can see over his shoulder, and looks into what looks like an office. With various books, a desk. The viewpoint that you're looking at, so you can move the mirror around, and seems this office is deserted. But it's quite a grand office. Lots of there's a large sword adorning the wall, and there's a fireplace lit with little embers glowing.
Can we just see it, or can we go in there?
You can see it. To use the mirror, simply concentrate on the mirror. Become attuned to the mirror and whisper this word. And she says in Sindarin,
Quenya, yeah.
Quenya.
Okay. So Tavron stands there for a moment, closes his eyes, focuses on the mirror, and after it takes a good few minutes, he eventually opens his eyes. Now gather round, each of you, link arms.
Do we want to go now, or have we got more searching to do?
I think she wants us to go.
Cool, let's go.
Bye.
Tavron speaks the word Quenya, and you feel your bodies move towards the silver of the mirror, and you're stretched impossibly thin. It's a race of energy moving through you, and suddenly you're standing in the office. It's a bit of a tight fit in here.
Can we have a look at that sword on the wall?
Make an investigation check. It's incredibly fine craftsmanship, and it's adorned with the symbol of the Order of the Bronze.
Be nicking that.
Just as you're looking at this sword, the door opens, and in walks Alistair de Mondragon, head of the Order of the Bronze. What? And we will leave it there for tonight.
What?
What?
Why?
Awesome.
Sweet.
That's cool.
So I can move you actually on the map. Not to there. Not to there. Not to there. So you're now here. In La Tour Blanche.
Very good.
Well, well, well.
Okay.
When do
So
we level up?
overran a bit. It's a good point. Probably at the start of the next session.
What's that?
Probably level up at the start of the next session.
So you mean now? Can we level up now, or?
Yeah, you can have your level up now. Level 5, is it?
Yeah.
That's an important one.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
one. That's where you get good shit.
I think you get an extra attack, Tom.
I get an extra attack.
So do I.
How do you do it? Do you just type in 5?
Hold on.